You stupid fool. Did you really think you gonna hit me? Huh? Bam, bam, bam. Over.
DONTAE'S Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? Well, the fight is official, and now the fight talk and the promotion has began. And my man Kell Brook, he had a lot to say about Errol Spence. So let's go ahead and get into it and quote exactly what he had to say to Scott TV. Quote, "I'm interested in seeing all the hype about Errol Spence. It's going to be a battle to make welterweight again, but I believe in my own team. I've got a nutritionist that can get me down safely. So I'm looking forward to challenges making welterweight again. Also defending what's rightfully mine. It's my greatest achievement in boxing, and that's my IBF title. I'm looking forward to walking out of Bramall Lane. That's my football club in Sheffield. I'm looking forward to putting a show on and showing the world I'm a special one. I'm number one. Once I do a job on Errol Spence, the Americans are going to know. I don't think I've got the credit I deserve. This is going to be the fight where it puts me number one on the pound-for-pound list, and that's the best fighter out there in the world. No one has ever done what I did to Golovkin, and he's a big middleweight that walks through everybody. I just think he's going to bring the best out of me, Errol Spence, because he is a talented kid. But no one has seen how good this kid really is. Everyone that attends the fight that night is going to see the fight of the decade because he's really that good." End quote. And then Kell Brook, he goes on to talking about what he's going to do after the Errol Spence fight, talking about fighting or trying to pursue a Canelo fight or a Miguel Cotto fight. Now, there was a lot of things that Kell Brook said in this interview that was really interesting. First of all, the main thing that stuck out is how often he praised how good Errol Spence is. Because when you look at the dichotomy, he didn't do that when he was facing Gennady Golovkin. Talked about how talented Golovkin was. He never said this is going to be the fight of the decade because Golovkin is really that good. He never said these things about Golovkin. The only thing he talked about when he was facing Golovkin was the size disparity, him overcoming that size disadvantage that he had going into the fight. When you look at the contrast, Kell Brook just revealed how good he even believes Errol Spence is compared to a Gennady Golovkin. He basically corroborated with almost every professional boxer and trainer that I've interviewed when Errol Spence's name was brought up. From Freddie Roach to Abel Sanchez to trainer Jeff Mayweather, and the list just goes on and on and on. Now, something else that Kell Brook said in this interview that I thought was interesting is when he said, "I have to see if I can make the weight." Like making it sound like he doesn't know if he can make the weight. Now, you guys tell me, do you guys think that sounds almost like a built-in excuse just in case he loses this fight? Because after he talked about him seeing if he can make the weight, he then said, but I have some of the greatest nutritionists and people helping me, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, which clearly indicates he won't have a problem making weight. I mean, let's just be realistic. It's not like he's 300 pounds and he has, what is it? What is today? We're still the last day of February. So he has almost 3 months because the fight is closer to June. It's May 20th. So he has about 3 months to lose about 15, 20 pounds. So yeah, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense when you think about it. But clearly, once again, Kell Brook, he knows that he's in there with a real one. And he clearly stated that in this interview, okay? He knows that this is a real fight. There's really not a whole lot of flaws when you look at Errol Spence's performances, his previous performances. I know there was one fight where he got caught with a couple uppercuts in the beginning of the fight, like maybe the first 2-3 rounds, but he adjusted. And that's what a good fighter is supposed to do or be able to do, because anyone can get hit by a certain shot, a right hand, a left hook, a body shot. The question is, can you learn from your mistake? After you get hit by that punch maybe the first 2 or 3 times, can you then learn how to nullify and take away that punch from your opponent? And we're going to see. We're going to see what happens May 20th. Now, something else that Kell Brook said that stood out is when he said, if I beat Errol Spence, I become the best fighter in the world, pound for pound. I thought it was interesting he said that too. Now, first thing I want to say is, there's no doubt about it, in my opinion, if Kell Brook beats Errol Spence, he becomes the #1 welterweight in the world, hands down. I already believe right now Kell Brook is the #1 welterweight. I believe he's that good. But for him to say pound for pound, I wouldn't say that. And you can't have it both ways. And you fans certainly can't have it both ways. You can't say, hey, what has he done? What has he done? He hasn't done anything. And then all of a sudden say, if Kell Brook beats him, now Kell Brook becomes pound for pound for beating the guy you said has done nothing. Okay? So, but there's no doubt about it, man. If Kell Brook wins this fight, I mean, even though it was a technical stoppage in the Golovkin fight where he suffered a broken or a fractured eye socket or whatever, Kell Brook did, for him to put on that type of performance against the most dangerous middleweight in the world and then come back down to welterweight and beat Errol Spence, that would no doubt be impressive. That would no doubt be very, very impressive. So, but unfortunately, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't see Kell Brook beating Errol Spence. I do see the fight being in his own backyard. That may be helping him a little bit, but I still don't see him overcoming the pressure, the inside work, even the boxing ability of a Kell Brook, of an Errol Spence, excuse me. So that's pretty much all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one.